back to another episode of, in fact I haven't even thought of a channel name other than Rogue Monk, so Rogue Monk Rambles. Yeah, I think that'll do for now till I can think of a better one. As I stated last week, this one's going to be about me, the years I spent drinking and how I managed to function during those years of drinking. But yeah, thank you again for liking and subscribing and following so far, and promise this is the last one that's going to be about me, because next week I want to get on to different topics that, but I'll go over that in a bit towards the end. So yeah, Rogue Monk Rambles. Yeah, me drinking started about 14, 15, as it did for most people. Someone would bring a few beers into school, sneak them in, and we'd start drinking behind the blocks, and you know, it'd be an occasional every other day, and till we got more acquainted with each other, like the friend circle that we had. And yeah, they eventually became more towards 15, around 15 into 16, where it progressed into almost every weekend where we had the friends out at the time, I'd go down, we'd all meet up down in Plesley, and we'd spend a lot of time drinking on the weekends, usually whatever we could get our hands on. So it had ranged from anything from those little VS Alka-Pops, you know, the cheap budget version of the VKs. We'd buy a crate of them from a local shop. I think you get if I remember right, you got a pack of 24 for about £5 or somewhere around that mark, you know. So it was get a couple of crates of those and share them between 3 or 4 of us or whoever were there, and we'd sit behind the landmark just drinking most weekends, which was quite a good time, you know, because not living in this modern age of cost of living and the state the world's in now, it was none of that, was very little of that there back then. So it was a case of we'd just sort of get together then. We'd either split between the landmark in Plesley behind there, where we weren't bothering other people, and just drink there for the night and just potter about Plesley, and then we'd probably end up down Plesley Vale. We'd alternate between there and like Campers Rock, which is down Plesley Vale. We'd set a bonfire and stuff up there, just have a few drinks through the night, and just have a good drinking session, as it was back then. And yeah, they were all good times, and went through a phase of drinking Skull Super, if anyone remembers that. I think they still do it, and yeah, it's like that 9.2% lager. There was a time where I think I'd had 5 or 6 cans of that Skull Super stuff, and with it being as strong as it is, I was off my trolley. I fell off Campers Rock. I think it was a good 10-foot drop, 8 to 10-foot drop. Yeah, I just remember waking up the next day covered in cuts and bruises, and just fell through brambles and broken glass and rocks and stuff, and yeah, just woke, because we'd got to the bonfire. I'd got my top off, and yeah, had the joys of falling through bramble bushes and what have you. Woke up next day with cuts and bruises, and so that was a fun night. it bloody hurt the shower the next day. Went home, got showered, and God, it bloody stung like a so yeah, and that covered up until got about 17, 18, and we'd carry on drinking through, just doing whatever. Oh, there's a big cat jumping up on bed. And then we'd, as we got to about 17, we'd start going out in town. Back in the day when all you needed Friday was a birth certificate, so it was dead easy to borrow somebody else's and just get down. We used to go in pubs and clubs through town and just get absolutely sozzled for the night. Yeah, it was sooty. So yeah, we'd spend quite a few nights on the town, and the more we enjoyed it, the more we drunk, and hence me getting into the cycle of drinking, and from there, and then joint school holidays. Roughly about when we were in school, then we'd meet up more frequently and just spend a good chunk of our time just hanging about and getting shit faced. And yeah, that's when it further progressed as we got into working age. You know, we'd all start working, and we'd still meet up on whenever we could. I'd just carry on drinking through the week by this point, because I was just addicted to addicted to the drinking, and yeah, there were times where I'd go out on a night out, and not get back until 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning, and I'd have to be at work at 6 for one of my cleaning jobs that I had then, and so yeah, there'd be times where throughout a good 10-year period through different jobs where my drinking would get worse, and I'd become a functioning borderline alcoholic for altogether about 20 years roughly. So yeah, it was a case of I just learned to function and just go in and just, I know you're not able to see it over but there's a cat over on the opposite bungalow roof that scared the life out of me yesterday. You can just make it out over there, the little white blob. Yeah, it scared the living daylights out of me. Last night I come in the bedroom and it was dark, and just had the cat staring at me. But yeah, yeah, where was I? Yeah, where I'd go in, I think I was there, weren't I, drinking, where I'd go into work and I'd not, I'd just learned to, let me just adjust that, yeah, or I'd learned to function and just carry on working through drinking. There'd be times where I'd go into work either drunk or hungover and not even remember half the shifts that I've had, because I'd be X amount of days into a however long session. So yeah, it was, however I managed to get through days and not actually be noticed for spending half my time drunk in work, I don't know. So yeah, I think at this point where I'm around 20. I know I've sort of skipped over quite a few years at this point already. But yeah, it's just from 14, 15 hanging about Plesley Vale and all that lot, where that's where the core of my drinking started. And you know, it was, I look back on the times I did have drinking, you know, we had such an amazing time. And I'm not saying being a functioning alcoholic's fine, because it's not, because it does have its impacts on your health and life and the people around you. So I'm not glorifying drinking to this excess, because I'm not. I'm just saying that, looking back, yes, I could have saved a lot of money, but at the time we had such great times during those years, you know. So yeah, you know, with that, I mean, I think we're on around 20, where I was, I think I was back working at McDonald's at this point. And you know, we'd sort of work. This is when work had actually, everyone had got different jobs, and meeting up was few and far between. And you know, friendship circles have drifted off. We've got new friends, and you know, the friends I had back then, like when I was a kid, aren't there now. We've sort of drifted apart, and you know, just as life does sometimes. So yeah, it was all a good laugh, you know. Again, I don't regret anything that I have done. I just wish that I could have not drunk as much, just learned back then moderation. You know, I've drinking in moderation, but you know, that's not how addiction works. So yeah, I mean, I was going to film this video yesterday, but like an idiot, I didn't really plan for it. I thought I'd just wing it and carry on, but no, I didn't, did I? Because we had a bit on today. We've been to a coffee morning, and just been to see this ensemble people, a group of musicians and choir and everything else at a local church. You know, we're not religious, by the way. It just happens to be where they have their ensemble meets every third Friday, I believe it is. So yeah, sidetracked again, rambled again, haven't I? So yeah, I'm not condoning being a functioning alcoholic. I'm just saying I've covered that bit. I just hate the fact I ramble so much. Yes, I'm prepared with notes this time to just get me through, so I'm not just relying on winging it. Where's he gone? Oh, he's on the floor. My cat. But yeah, it got to about 20s when the drinking got quite bad again, where I don't think I was ever sober for more than a few hours a day till I finished work. Either went to the pub or went home and just got drunk again. So yeah, that continued for, where are you? Ow. For quite a few years, and you know, we'd end up just the friends I had would end up meeting up or just going for a few beers in town, and that'd lead to more nights out, and yeah, that continued into me for the next well, till my mid-30s, late 30s. So yeah, it was a just a tough few years where the drinking took over, and yeah, it just progressed into a 20-odd year addiction, and then through transferring to Mansfield, McDonald's at the time, where I met a good friend of mine now. Well, I'll say now, he passed away a few years ago. Met Mikey, one of my best friends, and we spent a lot of years just pretty much just out all the time drinking, and just became really good drinking buddies as well as good friends as well. You know, quite a few people called us a bad influence on each other because all it'd take is, you know, a text or a phone call saying, "Are you busy?" And then we'd know that it would end up going drinking, and yeah, we were friends for. I mean, it was when things happened and I had to move away from Mansfield. It was when we sort of lost contact a bit because of things that happened at the time. We sort of lost contact. We did keep in contact here and there, but then prior to that, we were friends for a good 6-7 years or so, at least, if not more. But yeah, there was a time where we'd got about 2-3 weeks off together because our birthdays were close together, and we'd meet up and just have it ended up being a 2 or 3 week drinking session where we'd meet up, and it'd be started off meeting 3-4 o'clock ish, get back 1-2 o'clock in the morning, and then as those 2 or 3 weeks went on, it became we'd meet up earlier and earlier, and it ended up becoming, towards the back end of it, a good 13-14 hour drinking session every day, and that certainly took it out of us. And yeah, and then he passed away a few years ago, which knocked me for 6, and yeah, that's when the drinking got ridiculously bad again, because he was really, really good friend, and yeah, it just really took it out of me when he passed away. And then, you know, it was at this point, I think it was in towards the final couple of years or so to me drinking before I got the help to be able to have the tools to control the drinking. It was just prior to that was 1 or 2 years or so of me drinking upwards of 6 litres of spirits a week, and we're talking whiskey, rum, either whiskey or rum. I'd just drink no end, and you know, the worst I got was I was drinking like nearly, say, 8-10 litres almost every day. So at that point it really got bad, where because I was putting the laptop away, well, turn the laptop off behind the telly, turned around, stumbled a bit, and just ended up breaking the telly then, and that's when I just got the turning point to just actually go and get some help, because it was at this point where I knew that it was getting to be a serious problem, and yeah, it was like I say, in the final 2 years where I'd drunk quite a bit, and it got worse. Yes, I know I've already covered that, but I'm rambling. And yeah, it was, again, as I mentioned in my last video last week, it was CGL, Change, Grow, Live, who are a great charity that helped me become more in control of the drinking. And then for about a year or so, 15 months, 14 months, where I was mostly in control of that drinking. And yeah, it was early this year where I decided to just decide to go completely teetotal, as I mentioned in my last video. And yeah, it was the 29th of July this year where that was it. So yeah, it's not really been a full scripted video as I was planning. It's just been me rambling about the last 20 odd years of me drinking and functioning, and yeah, it's looking back thinking, how did I function? How was I able to just get through those days, you know, where I'd sort of been missing 2 or 3 days at a time because of how much I'd drunk, like through the night before going in on the early shift, going home, drinking again. I think there were days where I'd sort of missed, again, like I say, 3 or 4 days at a time, not really knowing if I've been into work or not. But yeah, that's been a brief rundown of the last 20 years. You know, as I mentioned earlier, I have had a lot of good times in all those years because I met some fantastic people, some fantastic friends. But as I've said, I'm not condoning drinking to that level, because, you know, it doesn't just have the health dangers that come along with that. You've got the financial aspect of spending, I think on the worst week for me was spending probably 150 quid a week or so, roughly, on the drinks and everything that I was having, like towards the over the last year or two. And then it's all money that could have been better spent. But you know, that's the downside of addiction, is it does cost you. And yeah, it can cost you more than just money. It can cost you your health. And I mean, I'm one of the lucky few that, going through the doctors at the time, you know, went through blood tests to find out how my body was functioning, and I was really shocked that my body is functioning in the healthy ranges. You know, I spoke to the doctors about the blood test that I had, and while it was not 100%, it was above 90% in the healthy range. So it's like I was really lucky to come away with my health out of it as well. And yeah, yeah, sorry about that. My phone is decided it's full, so I need to go through my phone a bit and yeah, clear it all out. I've got loads of memes and photos and stuff on there. But yeah, to come out with a relatively clean bill of health, I was shocked. But yeah, I'll finish this video up here then, and you know, that's a good chunk of the 20 odd years of me. Bit of a brief summary, but yeah, I'll leave a link to CGL Change Where We Live, the charity, down in the comments below. So yeah, thanks again for tuning in, and next week I'll be talking about people who move abroad and without actually looking into it, but I'll update you through the week once I've got things sorted for that. So yeah, thanks for tuning in to Rogue Monk Rambles. See you later.